millions of votes.
Senator Vance, I'm going to ask you again. Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election?
Did big technology companies censor a story that independent studies have suggested would have cost Trump millions of votes?
Senator Vance, I'm going to ask you again. Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election?
And I've answered your question with another question.
Why don't you have the balls to say Trump did not lose the election? Don't give me this dance, this pivoting or trying to knock the conversation off the rails. Just answer the question. No, he didn't lose. And stand on that business. But you look soft. You look weak when you're going around and around and around and around. She asked you 5 times, bruh, and you look ridiculous. So one thing that I think you and I can agree on, if we don't agree on policy or just really basic, political type of questions or whatever, that's fine. But it's one thing I'm pretty sure you and me can agree on, and that's leaders being able to stand on business. If you can't stand on your beliefs or whatever your standards may fall, if you can't stand on that, then what are you good for as a leader? You know what I'm saying? Like if you claim that you have the best interests for the American people, for your constituents or whoever that you're trying to speak to, if you're in a position when you're having a conversation with somebody and you can't stand firmly on what you believe in, what are you good for? And I'm not saying if you're right or if you're wrong or if we disagree on something, at least stand on principle. That's it. That's kind of what's missing in a lot of these political individuals who claim that they have the best interests or the best ideas for the American people, but when they're in a simple situation, they crumble at the slightest of easy questions. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Mr. JD Vance. He's on, I want to say 60 Minutes. Let me see. Yeah, some sort of, just one-on-one conversation. With the New York Times. That's what it is. And he looked ridiculous. It was honestly sad to see. And I wanted the interview to end myself. Like, just go on to the next question because he's struggling on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever been that kid where, your teacher asks you in front of the whole entire class, like, hey, Mr. JD, did you do your homework? Did you turn in your assignment? And you're trembling on the inside, because you didn't, but you don't want to look stupid or more stupid to your classmates. So you're just like talking, and you're just hoping and praying that the teacher would just like faint and die or something, because deep down inside you look, ridiculous. So let's go ahead and hear how JD Vance decided to fumble such an easy question.
JD Vance in denial again and again and again. In a stunning new interview with the New York Times, Lulu Garcia-Navarro, who is a frequent guest here on our program and who will join me in a moment, Garcia-Navarro pushes Vance 5 times, and 5 times Vance refuses to say if he believes Trump lost the 2020 election. Just watch.
In the debate, you were asked to clarify if you believe Trump lost the 2020 election. Do you believe he lost the 2020 election?
I think that Donald Trump and I have both raised a number of issues with the 2020 election, but we're focused on the future. I think there's an obsession here with focusing on 2020. I'm much more worried about what happened after 2020, which is a wide open border, groceries that are unaffordable. And look,
Senator, yes or no?
Okay.
Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election?
Let me ask you a question. Is it okay that big technology companies censored the Hunter Biden laptop story, which independent analysis have said cost Donald Trump millions of votes?
Senator Vance, I'm going to ask you again. Did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election?
Did big technology companies censor a story that independent studies have suggested would have cost Trump millions of votes. I think
Senator
that's the question.
Vance, I'm going to ask you again. Did Donald Trump lose the 2020
And I've answered
election?
your question with another question. You answer.
Okay, stop. Okay, once you admit, or once your only response is, I'm answering your question with a question. That's not how that goes. She's the interviewer and you're the interviewee. Okay? You don't ask the questions. You answer the questions. That's simple. It's that kind of relationship. There's nothing in between, okay? So once you kind of fall into that type of framing, you know that you look ridiculous. And to his notion, we don't want to look to the past. We're just trying to go to the future and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. The question that is at hand is important for this reason. We need to know if you value democracy. And yes, we can go into the ins and outs and into the details of what a true democracy looks like and where America is on that journey. Okay, that's a whole different conversation. But when it comes to the peaceful transfer of power, something simple that every single president has done. Of course, presidents do want to follow up and make sure the results are the results. I'm not saying that. That's not the question at hand. The question is, did Donald Trump lose the election after everything and everybody and their mama has looked at what was brought forward, the questions, the concerns was brought forward, an investigation was happened in 7 key states, and nobody found nothing. So with that information, did Trump lose the election? That's simple. Now, this is where the issue comes in. If you're going to represent someone like Trump, which once again, I'm not arguing, policies or morally, nothing like that. That's a whole different conversation. But if you're going to stand in that camp as Trump's running mate, vice president, I would at least expect from you to be like, he did not lose the election. Okay, then we can move on. Or say, yes, he did lose the election, which you'll probably be fired. I mean, I'm just saying. But if you're going to be in that position, why don't you have the balls to say Trump did not lose the election? Don't give me this dance, this pivoting or trying to knock the conversation off the rails. Just answer the question. No, he didn't lose. And stand on that business. But you look soft. You look weak when you're going around and around and around and around. She asked you 5 times, bruh, and you look ridiculous.
Answer my question and I'll answer yours.
I have asked this question repeatedly. It is something that is very important for the American people to know. There is no proof, legal or otherwise, that Donald Trump did not lose the 2020 election.
You're repeating a slogan rather than engaging with what I'm saying, which is that when our own technology firms engage in industrial scale censorship, by the way, backed up by the federal government, in a way that independent studies suggest affect the votes, I'm worried about Americans who feel like there were problems in 2020.
Vice President Harris tonight seizing on this, insisting she won't surrender herself with yes men like Trump does.
Beautiful.
The way that I like to lead, I bring folks in my office all the time, and they know I don't want any yes people.
The Harris campaign.
Hey, I have my doubts and my own question when it comes to Kamala Harris, but they're giving her beautiful talking points. Nobody wants a yes man. Nobody wants to be a yes man. Nobody wants their circle to just tell them what they want. Or, I mean, some weirdos might, but for the most part, those who stand on values and being 100 with people. They don't want yes men around them. So they're giving Kamala Harris the easiest layups ever. And that's exactly what JD Vance is being, is a yes man. And those kind of yes men are soft as rice. Those are the lukewarm individuals that we don't want in a position of power, in a position that you're going to have to make hard, tough decisions. And if your only job is to be a yes man, then that's a no, man. That's a no go for me.
And also tweeting out Vance's entire exchange with Garcia Navarro. And we should point out, Vance wasn't
she
always
posted
an
the whole
enabler
thing
of
online.
Trump's lies. Arcade
Oh,
File
man.
just this week uncovering reportings of Vance from 2020, admitting people will accept Trump lost.
I think that when Biden is inaugurated, people will, more or less accept it, and it'll be on to the next fight.
What? JD. Let's no. This wasn't like 10 years ago. This wasn't, when you were, a kid and, you want to play like stupid, like you didn't know better. This was just 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Well, a little less than 4 years, but dude, who's stupid enough to think your position has changed dramatically from this here? I think that when Biden is inaugurated, people will, more or less accept it. So tell us, JD, tell us, J to the D. Have you accepted it, and are you willing to move forward? Because if you don't say that, then you're telling me that you haven't accepted it and you haven't moved on. I'm just saying, like, this is their champion right here. This is the person that they want to elect next to the person who's going to be making decisions on me and your behalf. This one right here. And you guys don't talk about Kamala, huh? My God.
More or less accept it, and it'll be on to the next fight.
Well, Vance has obviously changed his tune now that he's Trump's running mate. Elena Treen is out front now in Reno, Nevada, where Trump is holding a rally. And Elena, you've been talking to your Trump sources, just getting off the phone with them today.
All right, I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead. So, in a way, this is our fault. And when I say our fault, like, we are somehow, some way, kind of the reason why politicians can flip-flop on a dime. Okay? They get profit. There is some sort of incentives for them to be a yes man. And I feel like we all should take responsibility of that. We're not holding politicians to a higher standard. You know what I'm saying? And somewhere, I mean, just within my lifetime, so I'm just trying to pinpoint, at least to me, where everything has switched. And I want to say, as soon as Trump hit the scene, maybe a little bit before, like, we all knew that politicians lied. We knew that. Okay, I don't think some of us were that naive to be like, exactly what they're saying is exactly what they're going to do. Like, I think we kind of can engage the bullshit meter. You know what I'm saying? But as soon as Trump stepped into the scene, he took that to a whole nother level, which when all you care about is your side winning, you will take that on. You will adjust your standards, your values, your morals, every principle that you stand on, you will now adjust it to so you can win. And then all of a sudden everyone's just saying whatever they want to say just to win. Here's a good one. Kamala Harris, when she was first running for president, 2019, and Bernie Sanders was saying, something along the lines like, healthcare for all, I will make it free, and yada, yada, yada. Then all of a sudden, when all the other candidates started noticing that that's what people wanted to hear and that's what people wanted, all of a sudden everybody in the Democratic Party is now all of a sudden for Medicare for all. And Kamala Harris, who never had a history of supporting something like that, then during that time, she was all for it. But now that she's actually in a position to win, you don't hear nothing about that. No, not even a single hint to something as robust as Medicare for all. So we get that notion that all politicians are going to lie to us, but we as the voting electorate, we need to know how to hold them accountable and not elect people like that into office, because then we're going to set a precedent that it is okay to do that. I don't know what else to say. Like, I think that's pretty simple to understand. If you guys at some point in this video disagree with me, let me know in my Discord. It should be a link down below, or let me know in the comments down below. And like always, let's have that conversation.